Hi guys, my name is Yemi Penn, and for those who don't know me, I am an engineer by profession and an entrepreneur by passion. I fuse both together in my mindset transformation work by engineering powerful people. Now, with everything going on in the world today, I want to bring some light, in all chaos, in all events that can trigger traumatic feelings in us. Now more than ever, we need to look for light, and my heart and love and light goes out to those who've been affected directly and indirectly. I want to spend the next 14 days talking about some things that people have asked me about, from newspaper articles on my story, but also things that I think we all need to hear at the moment. So if you stay with me, I'm going to be giving you 14 days of tidbits on specific topics. So today's day one. And I want to talk about how to manage fear, anxiety, stress. I've recently published my book, Did You Get the Memo? And there is a chapter on fear, because I managed to change my life around, like literally did a 360. I can't go more than 360, but a 360 turn when 6 years ago, relocated to Australia. I was on the brink of divorce. I had a 7-month-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And I wasn't a good job. I still had an element of privilege. My parents have done a great job in making sure I had access to a good education. But I still felt like I was on this rat race of just barely surviving. Not to mention the fact that I felt like I was failing in all other aspects of life, because here I was, soon to be a divorcee and a single parent in a country with no family. It was just a mess on paper. But the one thing that I was able to do and manage that truly started to change the way I thought of the world, the way I thought of myself, and as a result, the perceived risk that I took, was how I managed my fear. I started doing lots of personal development, and this is why I effectively do through my programs, webinars, is what did I need to change in myself? Because that's the only thing you have control over. What did I need to change in myself to not feel as fearful about changing my job, starting a new business, being seen to be a single parent? What did I need to do? And it all started with my mind, what we perceive as fear. So I know that this is really delicate words, but let's take the whole coronavirus thing going on at the moment. I haven't had it. I haven't been tested for it. I know there are some people that have gone through it. But because I haven't experienced this myself, it's very difficult for me to give a true understanding of the virus. And that's the reason why I get very sensitive about what I say, because I haven't been in anyone's shoes who had it. So how can I have 100% understanding of it? If that's the case, and we have never truly experienced something, but we are literally just in fear of the concept of it happening, then there's an element, there's an element of an unrealistic fear. Now, I know that requires quite a bit of, intuition and internal reflection, but to fear something that you haven't experienced yourself is wasted energy and potentially wasted emotion if it's not going in the right place. Now, people say when you focus so much on the past, you're in depression, and when you focus so much in the future, which is where I tend to live, then you're more in anxiety. And one sure way to try to manage that is to constantly be in the present, constantly be in the now. We've had people before us, and, we have all sorts of practices going on. But this is what meditation is. When people talk about meditation, it's about being in the now. Now, obviously, you can't go into your office and just sit there with your legs crossed every minute and meditate. But it helps if you set specific times where you just have quiet. You don't even need a mantra. If you want music, play music. And it doesn't matter if your mind wanders. Your mind is searching for something to do. But every now and again, when you find yourself deviating and going into some thoughts, acknowledge it, forgive yourself, and come back to the now. Focus on your breath if you need to. When you focus on the now, you're present. Abraham Hicks, who I follow, says it really well. She calls it segment intending. If you literally focused on every activity you need to do, as opposed to what you did before or what you need to do, it makes a difference to how you manage fear, anxiety, depression, is by being as close to the now as possible. So I'm talking to you right now and I'm thinking, okay, I need to catch my train because I've got to get back to the kids and then I want to cook dinner. If I focused on that, then I'm not present with you. So I need to be with you, and I work on this every single day. And I do that when I'm about to embark on something really extreme. You know, for some of you know, I own an F45 studio in London. I'm based in Australia, and there's so many things going on. The economic impact on small businesses, on everyday people's lives is phenomenal. It's enormous. And, you know, am I worried? Of course I am. Am I fearful? I am, but I'm managing it. I'm acknowledging I have the fear, and I'm going to take this fear for a dance. Because when I sit down and really think about it, what am I really fearful of? I'm fearful that my studio might have to close. I'm fearful that I might not be able to pay my employees or pay the rent. I will do, just for the record, in case anyone's watching. But these are real fears. Now, I've got a couple of choices. I can shut down and forget that I am of the divine and I am blessed and I have my guides in God, the universe, angels, past, future and present, who have got my back. And that belief system of mine works for me because it allows me to be in the now. And when I meditate, which for me is the aftermath of praying. You see, when we pray, if you believe in praying, is when you're asking. When we meditate is when we are silent enough to hear the answers. So I'm hoping you've taken a few things from here of different ways in which you can manage fear, anxiety and stress. A big part is to stay in the now. Another part is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and finding out what exactly are you fearful of. And if you do meditate or you take time to pause, you will find there are potential solutions to the real fear you have. But also, let's not give fear more credit than it's due. If you haven't experienced something and it wasn't as painful, or you survived from it, more importantly, if you're here and you're watching this, trust me, you've been through some traumatic times. If you survived it, what did you do? How deep did you dig to get there? Well, I want to say go back and tap into that, because once you learn to manage fear, life is amazing, and I mean that. Okay, so I'm 7 minutes in. This was only meant to be 3 minutes, but the rest will be shorter. But seriously, come with me on this journey, 14 days. We can make a difference. All right, love and light. Mwah. Bye.